Parshas Noach has a very interesting section. Talks about after the rain stopped, Noach knows it's not raining, right? And the teva comes to a stop. It settles on the top of a mountain. Noach opens up the window of the teva that he had made, the window of the ark that he had made. Now, this is very strange, because when they made the teva, it says, Tzohar taseh teva. Rashi says there are two pshatim. One pshat of Toar is a window. One pshat of Tzohar is some type of a stone that would give off light, a luminescent stone. According to that, there was no window. And it says, Chalon hateva sherasa. Mashma, he made a window. So there's a certain mashmos over here that Noach did open the window. Now it's also very interesting. Noach was not commanded by Hashem to do anything. Noach of his own, things are standing static, so Noach goes ahead, he's going to open up a window. He's opening up a window, he's creating, it's his own idea. Chalon hateva asher asa. When? After 40 days. What does that mean? Why 40 days? What does that represent? And what does he do? Vayishalach esa orev. He sends the orev. And what does the orev do? The orev doesn't go anywhere. It just circles around. Ad yevoshes hamayim mi'al haaretz. Until the water dries. This is a medrash. Says, you know who the Orev is? The Orev represents David. David HaMelech. The Orev represents David HaMelech. And then Rashi brings down, what's Ad Yevoshes Hamayim? That the Orev was ready for another job, which came when the water was dried up, when Eliyahu Navi made a gzeira and said there's not going to be any rain. And he had to flee, because Achab wanted to kill him. And he went to the Midbar. Hashem said, go to the Midbar. And the ravens brought food to Eliyahu. And therefore there's a remez here to the ravens bringing food to Eliyahu. What does that have to do with anything? How does this fit into Noach with Eliyahu and Noach with David? Then he sends the Yonah. He sends out the Yonah. Very interesting. By Yisha, by the Orev it says, Vayishalach es ha'orev. By the Yonah it says, Vayishalach es ha'yonah me'ito. He sends it away from him. The Yonah goes out 3 different times. 3 times the Yonah gets sent out. Okay? And finally, the last time, doesn't come back. Says the Medrash. You know what the Yonah represents? The Yonah represents Klal Yisrael. And the 3 times are 3 Golias. You have Golus Mitzrayim, you have Golus Bavel, and the one that doesn't come back is our Golus that has been going on for the last 2,000 years. Didn't come back. Hasn't yet come back. And then, a few psukim later, it says that Noach takes the top off of the table. Vayasar Noach, vahi ba'achas l'sheish shana b'echad l'chodesh, vayasar Noach es michseh ha'teva. Takes off the cover. Didn't have a cover. All of a sudden, he opens it up from the top. He doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't go anywhere until Kodesh Baruch Hu tells him to go out. Takes off the top. Very strange parsha. What's going on? Why does the Torah tell us about it? What is the meaning of it? But it seems to be full of remazim. So I was thinking that perhaps there's a remez here. 40 days is Yetziras Havlad. 40 days, a time for there being from nothing to having something there that's beginning. The beginning of some rebirth. And what does he do? He sends the Orev. Why does he go to the Orev? The Orev, says the Medrash, represents David. Geula, David Melech, Melech HaMashiach, right? Okay? That there's an Indian, Noach says, we got to get out of our situation. We've got to have a Geula. We've got to be saved from our situation. It doesn't go anywhere. You know what? You need Eliyahu Navi. There's an interim. David HaMelech, Mashiach can't come till first Eliyahu comes. Here, David doesn't work. Eliyahu. You have to have Eliyahu Navi. He's got to be there first. The first stages before you can have David. But even before you have that, Klal Yisrael. And Klal Yisrael is going to have 3 Goliaths. There's a whole history. There's a whole history that's got to go through before you're ready for the Oreh, before you're ready for David, for Mashiach to come. And when nothing goes, comes Noach and he takes off the top of the table. He has a world of his own in the table and takes off the top. Can only look up. Farshim say, why did Noach have to bring all the creatures of the world into the teva? Because they had to leave the old world. It wasn't enough just to save Noach. Couldn't put him up on the top of a mountain. The old world was no good. Had to be destroyed. And Noach had to take everybody out of the world, and now he has his own little world called the Tevas Noach. It's its own world. And Noach is looking for a sign of Geula, looking for a sign that things are changed. It's a different world. Now, there's something new. I can now start fresh. Rosh says, not so simple. It doesn't happen that way. Doesn't go. Right? First, you have that first you have to have a process. And there's a whole procedure, there are things that have to go through. And finally, what you have to do is, you have to recognize you've got your whole world, and there's only one way to look. Only up. The only way to look is to look up. You can't go anywhere else. Right? There's no place else to go. I think about our situation. People have asked me recently, we look at our situation, we have a war. We have a war in Gaza, a war in Hezbollah. We've done, you kill, and you kill, and you kill. And it doesn't end. It doesn't end. You say to yourself, where are we going? Perhaps there's a remez that Noach recognized he's only going to be able to build his new world when the opening is only on the top. When you recognize that there's only one way to look, only to the Rabbi Shalom. When you come to recognize that the whole world is dependent on one thing, when you're only going to be able to look up to the Rabbi Shalom, then all the other processes can start. But a geula, we're not going to have until you have that first step. A recognition, there's nowhere to go. It's gate-nish. It doesn't go. We're not getting anywhere. Take off the michzeh. Recognize my whole world is only if I face the Rabban Shalom. Then you can start the process. Then you can start. Then you can have Eliyahu. Then you can have David. You can have Mashiach. We're waiting for that stage. Be'ezus Hashem.
Amen.